This is a long form video on the low bridge rotation. It's one of the main 4 mobility exercises that I do. And regularly people tell me that I'm a very mobile person. Well, I don't think of myself that way because I don't practice specifically to be mobile, but the 4 exercises really help me to be well versed, to be well prepared, to try out all sorts of new things. So let's get to it. In this video, you'll learn what the low bridge rotation is, what progressions for it are, how we can slowly build up to there, and what good execution in the low bridge rotation is, plus what you can do with it once you have it. So, first point, what is the low bridge rotation? Let's look at an example. I think it's easiest to understand when you just see the thing. That's it. Maybe you know the high bridge rotation, something more yoga related. The low bridge rotation is kind of the brother or the sister of it. They complement each other really well. Let's get to it. The low bridge rotation, you can start from a squat, reach behind you, transition into an extended position close to the ground, and come all the way back up and out. The question is, how do we get there in the first place? With level 1, we'll start with low bridge push-ups. You start lying on your back with your feet on the ground, and you'll use your hands to push your hips closer towards your feet. At some point the heels are going to come off and your knees are going to point towards your feet. It's really important that you get to this point because only then you can be in a position where you're strong enough to actually push up. In the beginning, don't expect too much range, don't expect too many things to happen. As long as you make an effort to get into this shape, you're likely doing the work. If it feels completely impossible to lift yourself up from here, chances are that you still want to get more weight towards your toes. That really helps. So it is almost as much a leg exercise as it is an upper body exercise. Oh yeah, for our hand position, we turn our hands in like this and not push like that, because later it translates better to QDR push-ups and so on, more fancy stuff. If it's really hard for you to do it this way, go ahead with this way. It will kind of work as well. Level 2 is the negative low bridge rotation. It's actually just half a low bridge rotation at this point, because you go from the squat, leaning towards the side with knees tilting over and slowly rolling onto your shoulder. Keep the hip up as long as you can and then just lie on your back. So it's just half a low bridge rotation, and we lean over onto both hands and then get back. That kind of is the basic. It gets you a good feeling. If you are comfortable here, try not to get too stuck in this for too long, because the next step is where really most of the change is going to happen. That is the full negative half low bridge rotation. Okay, getting complicated with the terminology. Essentially, you're starting from a squat, leaning forward, pushing your hip forward, reaching your hand behind you, and now it already looks more like that familiar low bridge position in extension. From here, try to slowly bend your arm and lower your weight until both hands are on the ground. You have mastered this stage if you can support all your weight just on your feet and on your hands. Try to not have the shoulders touch the ground. Make sure definitely not that the hip is touching the ground. And of course, practice both sides. This can take quite a while, so there's different progressions and regressions I'll mention in a moment. But once you have both sides well established for the negative low bridge rotation, then, well, you can do the full one. Of course, getting up and out and away from it is harder than slowly getting into it. But if you feel really stuck of doing the full low bridge rotation, then try to slow down the descent as much as possible. You will build the necessary strength this way. So level 4, you've guessed it, is the full low bridge rotation. Slowly lower over in one side, stay in this low bridge rotation. Use your hand to reach over, slightly tilt your body over, push yourself back up at the same time, and there you have it. That is the full low bridge rotation. There is one way in which you can take a completely different path to get to the same outcome, which is start the low bridge rotation by being in toe squat in front of a wall or some object that you can lean weight into. So once you're in that toe squat, just reach up high against the wall behind you, go into the low bridge rotation, come out. And here's how you perfectly, smoothly, and easily progress just with this exercise. Every time you do the rotation, just start a little bit lower next time you do it. A little bit lower against the wall, rotate, and lower and lower. Once you have mastered the low bridge rotation, what can you do with it? Well, plan of fun. Here are some ideas. The QDR rotation is an interesting one to play with. You'll also need to know the QDR for it, but maybe you're interested and watch the video. Other than that, you can play with different variations of it going into an invert low bridge rotation. Looks something like this, quite interesting. And of course you can come up with creative little sequences that pass through it or that involve it. Once you have it, really all you need to do is practice it every now and then to maintain a decent amount of flexibility in otherwise awkward ranges that will hopefully help you for the rest of your practicing time. When it comes to movement videos and movement inspiration, you can follow us on @SharedSpace Movement on Instagram for short inspiration. For the long form videos, you can subscribe here on YouTube and hit like if you enjoyed this video, if it helps you, or write a comment if you've got any questions, if you're wondering about something. Peace out, that was Aaron, and see you soon.